It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. You, as a true chosen one, have caught the attention of powerful forces spanning countless realms in ways you might barely comprehend. These higher energies, these gods of the multiverse, are applauding your growth, your resilience, and your undeniable potential. You may sense a rumble of excitement in the air, a soft but persistent pulse that tells you something monumental is at play. This isn't a wishful fantasy or a half-baked dream. It's a genuine shift in your destiny. If you feel even the slightest stir in your soul, I invite you to embrace this transformation. Please like this video, subscribe, and comment 77 feet below to show you're ready to receive what the multiverse has been preparing for you all along. Chapter 1. A thundering echo in your bones. In the quiet hours of your life, while washing dishes, commuting home, or lying awake just before dawn, you may have felt an inexplicable echo reverberating in your body. It's a physical sensation that tugs at your awareness, reminding you that you're not as alone as you once believed. At first, it can feel strange, like an odd vibration deep in your core. You might have brushed it off, attributing it to stress or fatigue, but as time goes on, that internal echo refuses to fade, and you begin to suspect there's something much bigger at work. You may notice little coincidences stacking up. A friend recommends a book that speaks exactly to your current struggle. A random snippet of conversation confirms a hunch you've had for months, or you catch repeating symbols, numbers, animal sightings, songs that align too well to be coincidences. This tapestry of moments forms a message specifically for you. On some level, you sense that these patterns aren't random. They're part of a coded language, a universal Morse code designed to guide you toward a more expansive view of who you are. Behind these signals lies a presence you might call divine, cosmic, or simply more. It's as though an entourage of higher beings, gods of distant galaxies, ancient archetypal forces, or benevolent cosmic guardians, is leaning in to see what you'll do next. Their interest in your path isn't a form of worship or lofty praise. It's an excited curiosity about how you wield the gifts you've been given in a universe packed with possibilities. Your willingness to step into the unknown sparks their enthusiasm, like a beacon in the night. The effect on your day-to-day life can be both thrilling and disorienting. You could find yourself more sensitive to the energies around you, feeling waves of empathy when you pass by a stranger, or catching a flurry of intuitive messages that pop into your head for no apparent reason. Old routines may seem hollow or tedious, and a desire to break free from conventional expectations might surge within you. You're no longer content with the small stories you've told yourself. You hunger for something real and grander. If you're unsure whether these experiences are all in your head, consider how your perspective has shifted. You're more open, more willing to embrace questions, and more attuned to subtle influences. People around you may notice a new brightness in your eyes or an added intensity in your voice when you talk about your ambitions. They might not comprehend the depth of what's happening, but they sense something has changed, and that's precisely it. You're not the person you were a month or a year ago. Your transformation has begun in earnest, and the gods of the multiverse are paying attention to every step you take. Chapter 2. The End of Hiding. Stepping into the spotlight of cosmic awareness isn't a casual affair. You might recall a time when you felt the need to shrink yourself, hiding certain passions or convictions because you feared ridicule or rejection. But now something is shifting so quickly, it's hard to remain in that smaller version of yourself any longer. Maybe you used to avoid certain conversations to keep the peace, or you'd bury your creative impulses under practical responsibilities. These days, that self-restraining is fading. A growing sense of confidence nudges you to speak your truth, even if it quivers on your tongue. You start to notice how your unique viewpoint can illuminate a discussion or inspire someone else to reevaluate their own path. Little by little, the impulse to dim your light weakens. Instead of holding back, you find yourself stepping forward. At first, it's a conscious effort. You might remind yourself, "No, I've been silent long enough." Then as you practice letting your voice and ideas flourish, it becomes second nature. Some people in your life may be unsettled by this new radiance. They were comfortable with your old patterns, the ones that didn't ask too many questions or challenge the status quo. Now they see you evolving, and it forces them to examine their own stagnation. While some may celebrate your growth, others could resist it. You might experience distance or tension with friends who don't quite know how to relate to this emerging version of you. That can be painful, but it's also a powerful sign that you're outgrowing constraints that once held you back. This period can feel both liberating and precarious. It's like walking across a suspension bridge. The view is breathtaking, but every gust of wind reminds you how high you are. Old insecurities may flare up, whispering that you're risking too much, but a deeper knowing tells you there's no turning back to a life half-lived. You can't unsee the possibilities you've glimpsed. Even if you tried to revert to the shadows, you'd sense the emptiness of it. Yet in moments of doubt, you might experience signs that the universe is holding you steady. A random compliment from a stranger might confirm that you're on the right track. A snippet of a song on the radio might echo the exact words you needed to hear. These gentle winks from creation remind you that you're not out here alone, precariously balancing on a tightrope without a net. The gods of the multiverse, in their vast wisdom and curiosity, seem to be offering you an invisible hand whenever fear tries to pull you backward. Give yourself permission to stand tall, to own your talents and convictions, and to live without that layer of secrecy you once draped over your spirit. This is the unveiling, a chance to move through your days unashamed of how powerfully you can shine. And as you continue to reveal who you truly are, you'll feel an extraordinary support rising to meet you, a cosmic applause that says, yes, this is who you were born to be. Chapter 3. Embracing your multidimensional self. The phrase gods of the multiverse might sound lofty or fantastical, but the deeper meaning points to a vast and layered existence beyond our usual comprehension. For a long time, you may have felt limited by the world you see in front of you, by the daily grind, by social expectations, or by inherited beliefs. But the pull towards something greater has always lived within you. It's that quiet, insistent voice urging you to think bigger, to explore realms that conventional logic can't fully explain. As you awaken further, you realize that being a chosen one involves far more than excelling at mundane goals. It's about activating the dormant capacities within you, your intuition, your empathy, your ability to sense energies and frequencies that aren't confined to the standard five senses. You find yourself tapping into instincts that almost feel like magic. Perhaps you sense someone's mood before they say a word, or you wake up from a vivid dream that leaves you with guiding insight for the day ahead. These experiences aren't random quirks. They're a reminder of your multidimensional nature. Expanding into these unseen layers can be exhilarating, but also disorienting. You might second-guess yourself, wondering if you're just imagining things. After all, modern culture often tells us that anything we can't measure or replicate in a lab isn't real. Yet here you are, feeling these subtle shifts, receiving intuitive hits that lead to real-life confirmations. Over time, you learn to trust these experiences more, recognizing them as part of your spiritual or cosmic inheritance. It's crucial to approach this expansion with groundedness. While it's tempting to slip into daydreams of infinite possibility, you still have a life to live in the tangible world. Balancing these realms, honoring your earthly responsibilities while exploring your cosmic ties, becomes an art form in itself. You might find practical ways to integrate your heightened perceptions. A quiet walk in nature, where you tune into the energy of the trees, or a meditation practice that helps you process intuitive flashes without feeling overwhelmed. Sharing these discoveries can be tricky. Not everyone is ready to hear that you've been feeling presences beyond the veil or experiencing moments of divine alignment. Some will scoff, others will be fascinated, and a select few will resonate deeply with your words. Seek out those kindred spirits in the larger world of consciousness. You'll find people who also sense the multi-layered nature of reality. Individuals who can stand in awe with you rather than shrink in disbelief. As you embrace these extra dimensions of your being, the so-called gods of the multiverse, in their guidance, it's not that they swoop down in blazing chariots, it's that their influence permeates your daily life. You will feel their whispers in moments of quiet reflection, their encouragement in sudden bursts of inspiration. And with each step you take in acknowledging your multidimensional self, you'll find that the limitations of ordinary thinking melt away, replaced by a luminous curiosity about what else might be possible. Chapter 4. Protecting your sacred energy. With new power comes the need for discernment. As you expand, you may notice that you attract all kinds of energies, some uplifting, some draining, and some that operate like hidden parasites. The more luminous you become, the more you stand out on the energetic grid, and that can draw in individuals or situations that want to latch on to your light. Being generous and open-hearted is part of your nature, but you also need to know when to set firm boundaries. In practical terms, this might look like feeling oddly exhausted after spending time with certain people, or sensing a pull in your chest when a particular topic or environment hits a nerve. These internal signals are your system's way of alerting you that something is off. Even if you can't name the exact cause, trust your body's cues. Your intuition is an early warning system that operates beyond the realm of logic. As you become more attuned, you also grow skilled at recognizing masked intentions. Some people will present themselves as allies but carry deep wells of envy, manipulation, or hidden agendas. Learning to read between the lines can save you a great deal of spiritual and emotional turbulence. It's not about living in suspicion, it's about staying awake and aware. You can still offer kindness and compassion, but do so from a place of sovereignty. Creating boundaries isn't just about saying no to external demands, it's also about honoring your own capacity. You might find that you need more solitude to process the influx of energy and insights you're receiving. You could develop a practice of daily meditation, journaling, or ritual that fortifies your sense of self. This sacred time acts like a shield, protecting you from the fetid energies of the outside world and helping you to maintain your internal balance. People who've known you for a while might be taken aback by these changes. They could label you as aloof or self-absorbed when you begin to prioritize your well-being over constant availability. Let them have their opinions. The truth is, you're stepping into a role that requires you to guard your essence closely. A candle cannot light another flame if it has been snuffed out. Maintaining your own glow ensures that you can continue to uplift those who genuinely seek elevation. In the midst of setting these boundaries, you might encounter guilt or doubt. You might question whether you're being selfish by withdrawing from certain relationships or opting out of events. However, you'll soon see that when you protect your energy, you show up more authentically and powerfully for the people and causes that truly resonate with you. By taking care of your internal garden, you ensure that the fruit you offer the world is pure, untainted by resentment or burnout. This act of preserving your light isn't selfish. It's essential. The gods of the multiverse cheer you on precisely because they know how impactful your energy can be when it's protected and allowed to flourish. They don't want to see you drained by those who only seek to siphon your brilliance. They want to see you radiate as fully and magnificently as you were destined to, knowing that your light, once fully ignited, has a ripple effect on countless souls who also yearn to awaken. Chapter 5. The Surge of Creative Power. One of the most electrifying parts of realizing you're a chosen one is the sudden surge of creativity that often accompanies it. Whether you channel this energy into writing, painting, music, entrepreneurship, or 1,000 other forms, you find yourself brimming with ideas that seem to come from a source beyond your personal mind. It's not that you suddenly become someone else, but rather that you tap into a reservoir of raw inspiration that was always there, hidden beneath layers of doubt and limitation. This creative awakening might catch you off guard. Perhaps you wake up at 3 in the morning, compelled to jot down lines of poetry you never imagined yourself capable of writing, or you have an impromptu urge to rearrange your living space in a way that feels more like guided activities. Things that once seemed tedious can become enthralling when infused with this newfound spark. Even your conversations may shift in tone, growing more vivid and expressive, as though color has been poured into your vocabulary. In many ways, this surge represents the raw life force that's been stirred by your connection to the multiverse. Rather than seeing creativity as just a hobby or a side project, you start to understand it as an integral language of the soul. Engaging with it fuels you, refining your sense of purpose and sending ripples of fresh energy. Through your entire life, you realize that creativity isn't about a final product. It's about the joy of participating in something larger than yourself. This phase can be both exhilarating and challenging. On the one hand, ideas flow so fast you can barely keep up with them. On the other, you might struggle to keep your mind grounded. There's a risk of feeling scattered, starting one idea, then leaping to the next before finishing the first. To harness this wave productively, set small, achievable goals. If you're writing, commit to a certain number of pages a day. If you're painting, choose one corner of the canvas to develop at a time. Structure can be your ally, not your enemy, in channeling this cosmic flood of inspiration. In sharing your creations, you open a conduit between your inner world and the outer. Some will resonate with what you produce, others may not. The point is not universal approval, but genuine expression. Each time you dare to create and reveal, you strengthen the bridge between your evolving consciousness and the collective reality we all share. And this act, in turn, can draw you closer to those who walk a similar path, forging bonds with fellow visionaries who see the world through an equally kaleidoscopic lens. The cosmic forces cheering you on understand that creation isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's also how new paradigms and fresh truths emerge into the world. You're part of a grand puzzle, each piece a unique perspective that enriches the human experience. By letting your creativity flow, you're fulfilling not just your own destiny, but also contributing to the ever-expanding tapestry of existence. And the more you honor that, the more the multiverse will conspire to supply you with the resources, connections, and revelations you need to keep going. Chapter 6. Transforming Limitations into Gifts. Not every element of this journey is pure exhilaration. There will be days when you feel the weight of old traumas or insecurities pressing on you, like a stone. You might even question whether you deserve the attention and support you're receiving from such high realms. In these moments, it's crucial to remember that the path of the chosen one is often one of alchemy, turning perceived weaknesses and wounds into sources of wisdom and strength. Think of your challenges as raw materials, the heartbreaks, the closed doors, the anxieties. They're all part of the fuel that can help you rise. When you view difficulties through this lens, you begin to see them less as failures and more as catalysts. Perhaps that job rejection was a nudge to pursue a hidden passion. Maybe that painful breakup freed you to cultivate the self-love you neglected for years. This isn't about sugarcoating your hardships, but about recognizing the transformative potential they hold. Some days, the process is messy. Healing is rarely a straight line. You might make significant progress and then find yourself triggered by something minor, plunging you back into old emotional territory. But each time you confront these moments with honesty, you chip away at the power they once held over you. Slowly, you piece together a tapestry of self-understanding that no external authority can take away. It becomes an inner fortress, built from your experiences, your resilience, and your choice to see your past through a new lens. In time, you may realize these trials have honed qualities like empathy, compassion, and patience. You can relate more deeply to others who are struggling, offering guidance that isn't just theoretical, but lived and felt. This sense of shared humanity connects you to the wider tapestry of souls who are also seeking growth. The more you accept your own scars, the more you find yourself able to hold space for people on their own journeys. It becomes a rich interchange of healing energy. Throughout this phase of transmutation, the gods of the multiverse look on with a kind of compassionate pride. They see your resilience, your willingness to keep your heart open even when life stings. Each time you turn a perceived limitation into a stepping stone, you're signaling your readiness to handle even greater blessings. Challenges transform into gifts, not because you ignore their severity, but because you allow them to shape you in a way that elevates your soul. Eventually, you look back on situations that once seemed insurmountable and realize they were the scaffolding that helped you ascend. You'll see how each shattered piece fit into a grand mosaic of growth, teaching you lessons no simple how-to guide could ever provide. And in recognizing this, your gratitude expands, as does your confidence in the universal intelligence guiding you. By embracing the full spectrum of your experiences, you step even more fully into the role you were born to occupy, a luminous beacon in a world that sorely needs the light only you can provide. Chapter 7, Dancing with Destiny. At this stage, life begins to feel less like a sequence of random events and more like a choreographed dance, with each step flowing into the next. You sense a steady rhythm beneath everything, a pulse that synchronizes your ambitions, your relationships, and your dreams. You might not see the entire choreography laid out, but you trust that every twist of the music will align with your growing understanding of who you are. It's as though you're finally in step with an ancient song that's been playing in the background all along. Every day, you wake up feeling a little more open to what the universe might bring. Perhaps you still have moments of doubt, but they don't consume you like they once did. You've learned to stand in your power without needing to justify or defend it excessively. The gods of the multiverse, in turn, respond to your willingness with subtle nods of encouragement. Another coincidental encounter here, a burst of creative insight there, all weaving into a grand tapestry of affirmations. You begin to notice that your impact extends far beyond your immediate circle. The shift in your energy ripples out, affecting people you've never met. A friend of a friend might hear about something you said and find the inspiration they needed, or a stranger might read a social media post you wrote, resonating so deeply that it shifts their perspective. You're not seeking attention. You're simply allowing your authentic self to shine. In doing so, you serve as a magnet for those who are also yearning to awaken. Destiny, in this sense, isn't a rigid path you're forced to follow. It's the dance you co-create with life itself. You add your unique flair to each movement, and in response, the cosmic forces adapt and swirl around you like a vibrant living tapestry. You realize that free will and fate aren't opposites. They intertwine in a divine choreography, where your choices guide you to the experiences you're meant to have, and those experiences shape the choices you continue to make. At times, you might feel a quiet awe at how swiftly your reality evolves when you fully commit to this dance. Your dreams gain traction, your voice finds a broader platform, and relationships become more nourishing than you ever thought possible. The once distant concept of being a chosen one starts to feel less like a lofty title and more like a natural extension of who you've always been. It's not about superiority, it's about embracing the role you came here to fulfill, a role that's uniquely yours. And so the journey unfolds. Each new step reveals another layer of your being, another door into the multiverse, infinite chambers. You sense that your story will never really end, that each chapter is simply a deeper dive into the cosmic dance that's been guiding you from the start. The gods of the multiverse, still cheering from their ancient seats, continue to marvel at your courage and wonder which breathtaking move you'll make.